Hi guys, how's everyone doing? So my name's Marianne. I'm the owner and the counsellor at Marianne Hanson Counselling Service. I'm also a coach as well as a counsellor, and I specialise in the areas of low self-esteem, depression, stress, anxiety and relationships. You can check out my other YouTube channel, Marianne Hanson Self-Esteem Coach, for some of my other videos, mainly around confidence and self-esteem issues. So what I want to talk about in this video is something that I've talked about previously in many of my videos, and that is depression. And I want to give you 5 top tips for managing depression. You can also check out this video on my Facebook page, which is where I've gone live, and that's Marianne Hanson Counselling Service, my Facebook page on there. I've done this as a live stream. So depression affects different people in different ways, and many people have their own idea of whether they want to get an official diagnosis from their doctor, or whether they just, they know they've got depression and they feel they don't really need to go anywhere else with it because they're worried usually about being put on medication or their information being put on their record to say they're depressed. Now, what I want to say to people is you don't have to be worried about having a label of depression, because what you're really wanting to do is get a thorough assessment usually so that the right treatment plan can be put in place. However, you might not need to do that for your GP, you might not feel comfortable doing it for your GP. As long as there is a treatment plan and a proper assessment of that you do have depression, because you may not even have depression, it could be another mental illness that you have. So the first thing is to recognise you're not alone. Help is available. There's so much help that's out there, not only there's apps out there, there is YouTube channels that you can watch, there is NHS websites and other websites that you can go to. Don't feel that you have to sit there and be alone and just worried about, having depression and that no one's going to understand you or no one gets you. There's also a lot of things on Facebook, there's lots of groups. I know that I used to be a member of a few depression groups where there was thousands. I think there was 25,000 people on one of these groups, and I'm not saying they're always good actually, because you could go onto those groups and if you're just talking to a lot of people who are depressed, sometimes it can make you feel worse. But there is also a lot of people on there that have good recommendations and good advice. So also focus on what is in your control and not beyond your control. Mental health a lot of the time is caused by people worrying about things that they can't change. So if you're sat there worrying about, wanting to stop the war that's going on, or being stressed about the energy prices that are being risen, that's only in the UK, I don't know about the rest of the world, or anything, there's always things that you can sit down, you could have a long list of things that are not going well, or laws that are changing, or things that are definitely going to happen. They're out of your control. If you sat there and you start worrying about all the reasons that this is bad and how it's going to affect you, then of course it's going to make you feel sad. But what you could choose to do is reframe things by saying, these are some things that are out of my control, so I'm just going to let that go, I'm going to leave that over there. But these are the things that are within my control, these are the things that I can do about these situations. Alternatively, you can also say, I'm really going to take a step back from some of these things that's happening and take care of me. It's not being selfish to say you need 5 minutes where you say to your family, I need me time. I need 10 minutes to go in a room and just lie down, or I need to do my yoga class, which is only 1 hour a week because that's important for my mental well-being, or I'm going to go for a nice walk, or whatever it is. People tend to feel guilty if you're depressed sometimes for doing those things, because you're made to feel selfish, but you're not being selfish, taking care of yourself. The third thing is, don't quit engaging in the hobbies, activities and interests that you have a passion for. It can feel, if you're depressed, that you don't have the motivation, that you don't have the concentration, and it's just really difficult to engage in the things you used to love. It is a symptom of depression to lose the interest in, or not have the same pleasure in doing the activities you used to enjoy, but don't stop doing them. So if you are reading a book and you can't process all of the words because your brain is blocked with negative thoughts, just keep going, keep pushing yourself. Go for that bike ride. You might not want to be able to get out the door, but talk yourself into getting out the door, getting on the bike, and then once the fresh air hits you, and once you're cycling, it's kind of escapism, it's distraction, and it's also healthy for you. The fourth thing is to don't rule out certain approaches. Lots of people will say, right, straight away, I'm not going to use medication because I don't think that's going to work. Or I'm not going to go and speak to a counsellor because what's the point? You know, or I'm not going to do meditation because I don't want to, or I've not tried it, or it doesn't work for me. Try to think of yourself holistically as a person, and think about all the combined methods that you could use that could be of use. Give everything a try, and if they don't work, I mean, the worst thing that can happen is if you have prescribed medication and it doesn't stabilise your mood, you can then go back to your GP and say this isn't working. They can either try a different type of medication, or you can then say I'm not going to use it anymore. But I think if people rule things out straight away without trying them or without really doing their own research, if you have a strong belief that you don't want to try something, then that's also okay. But do your research and think about what is going to be best for you overall. And the final thing is to take things 1 hour at a time and 1 day at a time. A lot of people with anxiety and depression are thinking about the past, you know, what's happened before. It's really making me feel sad because this has happened to me in the past, or I really feel sad about that relationship I had, or the future. Life isn't worth living, or I've got no purpose, or I'm going to be like this in another few years, or I'm never going to get a job, or I'm never going to get a partner, or I'm never going to, you know, rule out the words never, first of all, because you don't know what's going to happen within the next hour. You don't know what's going to happen within the next day. But also give yourself a chance. If you've already decided that you don't want to be here anymore and that you're going to take your own life, for example, then what is the, you know, if you've made that decision, then what does it matter if you give yourself another 24 hours? Giving yourself a chance means that you're saying things could change, things could turn around, but if you don't give yourself that chance, then you'll never know. And I think personally, even me as a person, I can go from different, I'm not, it's the way I'm going to say it is like I'm moody. I don't go from mood to mood, but I can, within a day, most people go through lots of different emotions, lots of different feelings. I think that's natural. You know, we're not robots, we're human beings. But it doesn't mean that if I've had, say, a bad day, or if I go to bed and feel irritated, that I'm going to say, well, do you know what, I don't want to wake up again. Or tomorrow I'm going to feel irritated. You don't know, and that's the beauty of life. Things change within moment by moment, so give yourself that chance. I hope you found this video useful. If you have, feel free to share it. Don't forget to like. Also subscribe to my channel if you enjoy these types of videos. And thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to leave a comment as well. Thank you. Bye.